Hello, I'm Sarah from South London Sling Library, and today I'd like to talk to you about how to use your Artipoppe carrier with your baby in the facing away position. And this is going to tend to come in useful from the sort of 5-6 month mark. Babies start to get really nosy, start to want to see what's going on, and it doesn't mean you have to turn them around. But Artipoppe have invented this little gadget to allow you to adapt your carrier to do this. If you want to do it, by all means give it a try. Otherwise, you can wear your waistband really high, which gives you a little bit less fabric in the body panel, which then gives your baby a greater field of view, rather than having them cocooned into the carrier, where they can see a bit less. So that's a really good alternative to the facing away position if you don't like this once you've tried it. Also, you can use this carrier in a hip or side carry position. So have a look at my other video showing you how to do the hip or side carry position, because if you don't like this facing away position, once you've tried it, then the hip or side carry position can be a really good alternative. So there's a couple of changes we need to make to the carrier before we put this on. So what they want you to do is change the top of the body panel here from this position to this position. So to unloop it from the outside there, and then there's a buttonhole a little bit further in to put that buttonhole over that button instead. It's not the easiest thing to do, which is good because it means it's not going to come undone, but it can just take a minute, which is why I've already done one side. But there we go. What that does is brings the top edge of the body panel in a little bit. The other thing you need to do is find your little gadget that Artipoppe sent you that was in your box with the carrier when it arrived. Hopefully you put it somewhere safe, not in a drawer never to be seen again, but hopefully you know where it is. I'm not taking the tag off this because this carrier isn't mine. It's been loaned to me by a client. So please excuse the flappy tag. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this gadget, turn my carrier around so that I've got this is the inside of the carrier. Obviously you can do this by laying it on a table or a sofa or something. I want to do this so that you can see it. So I've just draped it over my body. This is the inside of the carrier. I'm going to take my little gadget, I don't know what they're calling this. I'm going to find that buckle on the side of my body panel where I would normally plug in my shoulder strap, and I'm going to take this elastic loop over that buckle and push it all the way down so the buckle pops out like that. I'm then going to do exactly the same on the other side. Find my buckle, pass it through that elastic loop and push it all the way down. Now what that does, you can see, is that narrows the front of the body panel, and it has a really interesting function that I didn't cotton onto until I tried it. I'll point it out to you once I've got the carrier on, but for now it just looks like it brings in the sides of the body panel. I'm then going to hold my carrier so it's upside down. I've got the outside of the carrier against my body. I'm going to flip the waistband in towards me and I'm going to put it around my natural waist. Clipped up and tighten. If you're using the hairband loop safety elastics, at this point you loop it around your buckle. Now I need my baby. Yes, my baby was face down on the floor, but you know, he's made of plastic and sand and really doesn't care. So I'm going to hold the baby in front of me in that facing away position. I want their bottom down and their knees up so they get that proper seated position, and it also leans their weight back into me. What I don't want is this sort of position with all of their weight on their groin. What that does is their legs hang straight down, their back arches, and their weight's going to pull away from me. So holding them in that seated position with their bottom in the middle of that body panel, I can then roll the body panel up between their feet like so, and I'm going to get my hand down and hold them basically in their groin. This is really hard to do with the demo doll, and particularly this demo doll. Their knees are rubbish, but my other demo dolls are either too small or too big. So holding my baby like that, I'm going to pop the shoulder straps over my shoulders. I need to swap hands. Can we tuck this little tag inside? Sorry, Charlie. And then same on that side. Then I'm going to reach behind me under the first strap to the strap on my opposite shoulder, pull straight down to the floor, bring it low around my body and up to the buckle under Charlie's arm. The buckle is now honestly quite hard to find because it's kind of tucked in, but once you've found it, it's there. Clip in and pull backwards to tighten. You may be surprised, as I was the first time I did this, that the strap now feels significantly shorter, but it's because this is tucked in, so it's actually had to come further around your body. So I'm going to swap hands. I'm going to do the same on the other side. Down towards the floor first, low around my body, under Charlie's arm and up to the buckle. Clip in and pull backwards to tighten. I'm then going to make sure I've got an equal amount of leg out on either side. If I put my hands under Charlie's bottom, I can tip their bottom away from me. That helps to bring their knees up and leans their weight back into me. And I can spread that fabric out slightly so it's under their thighs. Now, I'm not a massive fan of this carrier in this position. I like it in the facing in positions. I like it in a hip carry position. It's not bad in a back carry position. I'm not a fan of it in this position, but I don't know if it's just the aesthetics of it, but all of this kind of, but anyway, what you'll find is that extra gadget that you put on to the carrier between the two buckles here. Actually, if you put your hand down in front of your baby, it's acting as like a seat belt. It kind of goes across their middle and holds them against your body. So all of this is actually not doing an awful lot, and that's fine, because I think that's why in my head the kind of scrunchy loose fabric makes me go, oh no, because it's not fitting. But actually at this point this is not structural. The baby's being held by that band right across their tummy. So yeah, you know, I'm not sure that this actually matters, but it makes my brain all twitchy. In terms of safety in this position, the safety guidelines are very similar to a facing in carry. If you put your hand on the baby's forehead, you do a little dip forward, you shouldn't feel their body weight pull away from you. They are in view. I can tell their chin is off their chest. They've got clearance between the height of the body panel and their chin. And yes, they are just going to scrunch down and chew the front of that body panel, but that's an age-related thing. It's just what they do at that sort of 5-6 month mark. They've got their knees up and their bottom down in that body panel, and both of their hands are free. Now, the suggestion for the facing away position is always that you use it for short periods of time. So if, you know, anywhere between the sort of 15-20 minutes to maybe half an hour, 45 minutes, listen to your body, make sure you're comfortable, pay extra attention to your baby, make sure that they are not overstimulated, make sure that they're coping with everything that they can see. What I would tend to do is save this position for times when there are lots of things you want to talk about with your baby. You know, wow, look at that, wow, look at that, rather than, okay, baby's happy, I'm going to the supermarket, where you're paying attention to all of this, not to this. So save it for those times when there's a lot you want to talk to them about. The one thing to consider is never to use this position if they start to look sleepy. If they start to look sleepy, if they fall asleep in this position, their head is going to flop forwards. The front of the body panel is too much of a risk to their airways. So if the baby looks like they need to sleep, the safest thing to do is to take your carrier off, take the band out from inside and turn them back around to face you, so they can slump safely against your body and sleep without compromising their airways. It's just much, much, much safer. To take the carrier off from the facing away position, again, I'm going to support the baby's weight. I'm going to unbuckle at one side, I'm going to swap hands, unbuckle at the other side, and I can then peel the carrier from my baby and lift my baby clear. I hope that helps. Yeah, if you've got any questions, leave them in the comment section down below and I'll do my best to answer them. Thanks a lot. Bye.